introduce or to have a brief background on your project or on the title of your technical paper. The objective, and then you will need to have a result and discussion section. So this is one of the important and the discussion, and the result should be technical, and discussion also should have a scientific point of view on the discussion on your technical paper or your project title. And finally is the conclusions. Okay, the conclusion normally is always answering your objective, and then you need to have an acknowledgement to acknowledge maybe USM for giving you opportunity to do the project, and some funding on final project, I think around RM 300, and you need to have references. Okay, this is the last step. You need to have references in the technical paper. If you have a question, you can ask anytime in the chat, or you can voice up. So this is a few important things in the technical paper that you need to have. Is the number one is the format. The format should be according to the format given by the school, and normally school will follow general format, and sometimes it's vary with different publisher. So normally we use IEEE format for the technical paper. And then the organizations, as what I have told in the previous slide, the organization, you need to have title and so on, the introduction, the methodology, result and discussion, and finally its conclusion. And your technical paper, the content should be clear, concise, and coherent. And the most significant and scientific they obtain from the final year project. So it's not all the result from the final project that should be put in the technical paper. Okay, you need to have the most significant one that you want to put in the technical paper. I heard a voice just now. Any question? Okay, then the other thing that important is the grammar and the way of writing. The way of writing, I think you need to check with the previous thesis, or you need to refer to the other journal, the way of the writing of the technical paper or the journal paper. And then avoid redundancy, repetition. You no need to repeat. If you have mentioned in the methodology, then you no need to repeat the point or the things that you have write in the previous section. And then the number of pages, so it is very limited, minimum 4 or maybe up to 6 pages. So we don't want to have too many pages. That's why I said that the most significant or the most important part that you want to put it in the technical paper from the thesis. And then you need to plan your writing. So this is one of the example technical paper. This is from IEEE Access. This is the format from the IEEE Access. You can see there is a title here. The big here is a title, and then the name of the authors. The main authors is the person who write the technical paper, and then the co-authors. The co-authors is the authors who are involved in the project. So your supervisor is involved in the project, you need to put your supervisor name. Okay, and then the affiliations. So if you from electrical, from School of EE, then you need to put the address here, from USM. And let's say if your authors is from the other university, the co-authors, because maybe let's say from the UMP or UNIMED, maybe the authors contribute to your project, then you can put his name, but with the permission of your supervisor. And then the paper should have this abstract, as what I've said just now, abstracts. And the abstract not should be around 200 to 300 words. And then the keywords here, okay, maybe maximum 5. And then you have introduction. You need to have introduction to tell the background of your titles, your project. And then the experimental procedure, this is a method. Yeah? And experimental result is the result and discussion. You see, here is all the results. That very technical, and the discussion. You can split the result and then discussion section, or you can combine result and discussion together. And then finally is a conclusion and the reference. Okay. So this is another example. You can see that this is different, another journal of IEEE. This is transaction. Of course, the organization is same. You need to have a title, and then you have authors and co-authors and the affiliations. And then you have here the abstract, the abstracts. And this is in 2 columns, the abstract, and then introduction, experimental result, and discussion. Okay. And this is another example. This is from a paper. Okay, a bit different format from the IEEE journal, but the organization is same. The format is same. You have the title. You can see the authors and co-authors, the abstracts, and then introduction and so on. So this is another example. So you see that I want to address this, because you can see this is both you have see that they have a title and the co-authors, and but the different the writing is different. This is the full name of the main authors and co-authors, and you see that in the right side is only there is a short name and also the full name here. Mean that there is like Nurin Muhammad Sharif, then you put an NM Sharif, and Muhammad Kamarul is M Kamarul. So both is accepted. Both is accepted. But the one is that I think this is the one is not good. It's not the good example, because the abstract, you can see the abstract is very long. Okay, the abstract should be concise and within 200 to 300 words only. And another one is I think this is I can see some example from the previous final projects, because the student only put their name, their name without your supervisor name. So this is not a good example. Only write your name as a single author. Okay, so this is okay. So then that is the example. I finished about the example, and I go for the basic tools. So you can use a word processor or text type setting. Either you can use LaTeX, but I don't know about LaTeX. I use Word. And then graph and figures generating tools. You can have can use any software. And then there is also a basic tool on grammar correction, and also the equation and symbol. So you can use, there is a tools to write a proper or very good equations and symbol, very means that very nice, the equation, not using the word. So there is a tools. And then there is a few writing tips that I would like to share with you. Whether you want to write the technical paper, whether it's passive or active word. Okay, 1 point per paragraph. So normally in the technical paper we use passive word, passive sentence. Sometimes they use also active. It depend on the situation. And then there is one point per paragraph. You need means that you per paragraph means that the other paragraph maybe you discuss about the other points. You can do one paragraph, 2 or 3 points that you need to discuss. And then avoid long sentences. Use straightforward, concise and short sentences. And you need to have oh, sorry. Means that you need to have a reference, or the work should be very recent works. Means that up-to-date works within 5 years, preferable from WOS or Scopus. This is related to the references. And then all variables must be expressed using the italic font or mathematical environment. And then focus only a main contribution in the technical paper. And you need to structure your paper based on the maximum pages. It means that if you go for 6 pages, then you need to you need to identify what is the most significant content that you want to put in the technical paper. So this is whether you want to use a passive or active voice. Let's see the example here, the active voice. I will read here. The active voice refer to the sentence format, the emphasis, the door of an action. For example, if the sentence the mice inhale the tobacco infused aerosol, so the door is i.e. the mice seem important. So on the other hand, in the passive voice, the action being performed is emphasized, and the door may be omitted. So the tobacco infused aerosol was inhaled by the mice, actually by the mice. So in this construction, by the mice can be omitted. So it depends on the situation that you want to use, which is most important. Which means that the reader already knows or does not need to know who the door is, only the action is important. So that I said just now, it depends on the situation, if you want to use a passive and active voice. But normally we use passive. So I will not go for this. You can, later on I will share this one. You can read it by yourself. Okay. So I would like to highlight some mistakes in technical writing. First is the poor organization. I think this is less I can see from the previous. I think the most significant mistake is the writing style, and then lack of the lack of the means that there's the grammar and also some of the technical point of view. So I think this one you can discuss with your supervisor. Your supervisor will assist you, guide you to improve your technical writing. So the final submission, when you have submit to your supervisor and you have improved your technical paper, and then you go for the submission, the final submission, and then you receive a comment from the examiner and your supervisor. Then you need to correct according to the comment and suggestion, and then you need to have endorsed by supervisor and examiner using the final project's endorsement form, and you need to submit the soft copy into the e-learning and to your supervisor, and submit the hard copy to the main office. So these are a few rubrics on the technical paper. You can read it. I think I have uploaded in the e-learning, and you can find out, you can refer to this rubric. Okay, so I think that's all from me. Any questions? So I think if no question, then I pass up to Dr. Heidi for the next presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Kamaru. So I will share my slide now. Okay. Before I start, can I ask a few questions to the audience? Avitra, when is the last date for the final submissions? Avitra, are you there?
Yes, doctor, on the 3rd of
So the
July.
3rd of July is actually what we is the date when we submit the final draft to the examiners. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have the Viva for 2 weeks. And after that, we will have the final submission date, which is the hardbound thesis. So do you remember what date is that?
8th of August in the slide just
Okay,
now.
good. So thank you, Avitra. So the date for the final submissions is on 8th August. Sorry, Dr. Kamau, I forget to update this date on your slide. So it's actually 8th of August. So hopefully all of you are aware now that the date of the final submissions is on the 8th of August. Okay. So now we start my discussions on the BEM registrations and postgraduate opportunities. So Adam, are you here, Adam? That is right. Nazrul Hamizan, are you here? Nazrul? Okay, no respond. Okay, I will start my presentations. So BM registrations. BM here is stand for Board of Engineering Malaysia registrations. And actually my part will cover 2 parts about the BM registration and also postgraduate opportunities. However, we are lucky today because for postgraduate opportunities will be conducted and will be presented by our Deputy Deans on the research, which is Associate Professor Dr. Nasruddin. So he will join us later. So do you aware that our program, we have 3 programs in our school, electrical, electronics, and mechatronics. All of these programs are accredited by EAC and BEM. So EAC is a part of BEM. EAC stands for Accreditations, so Engineering Accreditation Council, and it is under the BEM. And for electrical, the last accreditation that we get is for cohort 2018 to 2023, which is for 6 years durations. Similarly, for the electronics, which is 2018 to 2023, means that the end of this accreditation is in this year. For mechatronics, it is 2019 to 2024 is also 8 years accreditations, but 1 year later after electronics and electrical. So now we want to renew our accreditations, and that's why we are expecting the visit of the EAC panel. The EAC panel will come to our campus, specifically to our school at 14 and 15 June, which is next week. And that's why Dr. Kamal is very busy just now, because we need to prepare a lot of documents to show that our program is running according to their standard. And we are accredited under EAC, and we are applying the OBE system, which is outcome-based education system. And I think you all know that we have COs, POs, and also PEO. So PO here is stand for the course outcome. PO, course outcome, which is the outcome of each course. So each subject will have 3 or 4 COs. Commonly, we'll have 3 or 4 COs, and it's not same with other. Each subject have their own COs. However, these all COs will be mapped into 12 POs. POs here is stand for program objective, which is what the program wants to achieve. We have 12 POs, which is based on the EAC standard. And also we have 3 PEOs, which is depends on each program. And these 3 PEOs will be measured after you graduated 5 years. So after you finish your study 5 years, we will contact you again to see how you performs, whether we achieve our PEO or not. So after you finish your study letter, we will contact you through email or WhatsApp or phone call to ask you to fill in our survey. And each program has 3 PEOs, and we have questions corresponding to each PEOs. As we have a visit next week, so I would like to remind you again, especially for electrical and electronics engineering students, to be around this campus, because you may be called to be interviewed with the EAC panels. So the EAC panels will come to our campus. First, they want to check our documents, how we run the program. Is that our program follows the standard or not? And among the criteria is the safety. So make sure when you come to our campus, or especially to our school, when you enter the lab, make sure you wear proper attire, wear long trousers, wear shoes, not wear sandals, and follow the safety as stated in the lab. If the panel see that we don't follow the standard, we can have trouble. So we aims for this cycle, we aims to get 6 years accreditations again. It will not only benefit the school, but also benefits to the students. So we can say that, oh, our program has 6 years accreditations, means that our program is good. So as the students or also lecturer, we will feel proud to say that our program is good, right? So the school is not only lecturers, the students is also the school. So we need your cooperations to show the best side of our school. So let's say that you are invited for the interview. try to emphasize the positive side, what you have learned in our school, and so on. And if you want to raise the problems, this is actually this actually not the right channels to to raise any problems or any dissatisfactions that you feel, because we have many channels, proper channels to raise some those issues. If you are not in campus due to some issues, we need to provide justifications to the panels. Usually we need to provide the documentations to show that you're really not able to come to the meeting. Okay. So that's about the meeting. Sorry, that's about the EAC visit next week. So again, need your help to show the positive vibes in our school. Although mechatronics is not involved in this accreditation process, but I hope you all also will wear proper clothing when you come to our school, because the panel will not know you are from electronics or electrical or mechatronics. They just see the students. Okay, so please give cooperation also. Okay, now I will move to the registrations as graduate engineers with BAM. So the name is graduate engineers, is already stated. Graduate means that finished study. So we do this registration after you finish your study in USM. So if you want to work as the engineer, legally you need to register with BEM. So it is mandatory if you want to work as an engineer in Malaysia. So you can register this by your own, but in USM, we helping you to do the registrations. So please register after your graduations, and USM will do the bulk registrations where we do the registration by batch. And after you graduate, our office will contact you through the email, your student email, because your student email will still active a few months after you graduate. So please check your USM emails frequently. So we will provide the information and the links on how to register this through your email. Besides, we contact you through the student representative through the WhatsApp. So the office will select one of you to become like the head of this batch alumni, and we will pass this information to this leader, and hope this alumni will spread this news to the other students. Information on graduate engineers. You can click on this website, and if you want to do registration by your own, you can use this link. The difference between registrations by your own and by our school, if you want to do by your own, you need to have more works, because each certificate you need to verify by IR in senior. Why for USM bulk registrations, I think is automatically. Any questions that you want to ask? Okay, for these BAM registrations, we only do this one time for the graduate engineers. So means that you need only to pay one time for the registrations. No need for the annual fee. One more things about the BEM registrations is that let's say that you want to become the professional engineer with IR title. So to apply for IR title, you need to have a few years experience in industry. So let's say you don't register with BEM, so these experiences in industry will not counted. So you cannot apply for professional engineer. And if let's say that currently you don't want to register as IR and you don't want to register with BEM, let's say that after you work 10 years and then suddenly you want to register for IR, for professional engineer, your experience 10 years will not be counted. So you need to register with BEM first, and then your experience in industry will be counted. Okay. So I think that's all about the BEM registrations. So I will pass the sessions to Professor Madya Dr. Nasiruddin about the postgraduate opportunity. And as we know that, sorry, if you, before I pass to Dr. Nasiruddin, let's say that you are interested to continue your study with your FYP titles. So please discuss with your supervisor. So it's always possible, I think, for the FYP to be upgraded. The title will be upgraded for the postgraduate studies. So you need to discuss with your supervisor on how to do that. Okay, thank you very much. So I pass it to Dr. Nasiruddin. So Dr. Nasiruddin, are you here already?
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good evening. Thank you, Dr. Heidi, for the introduction. Okay, let me share first my slide. All right, so so basically, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening, everyone, to all of you. So as what I hope that you try to heed the advice from Associate Professor Dr. Heidi about the importance of registering as a graduate engineer, because by law, when you want to practice an engineering profession, you have to register, right? Okay, now, so I'll be actually sharing with you on our program, the schools program. We call this as a Pinch USM for USM. So it is basically to attract students like you from undergraduate student, especially from the final year project, to basically to pursue master or PhD, right? So for today, I would, the audience is actually basically all of the three programs who are currently doing final year, right? So you are graduating students this semester. So we'll be seeing all of you going to work, but at the same time, we are encouraging you to basically consider the opportunity to pursue to a master or PhD. Okay, right. So for today, I have just a few of briefing. First of all, about the research area at our school, and then the second is actually on the postgraduate program. I'm not sure whether you are aware of the master mixed mode or master research mode and PhD research mode that we have been offering. So a little bit of briefing about this, and also about a fast track PhD. So these are basically an interesting avenue for those you have the urge to work as an engineer, but at the same time you want to pursue for a PhD. So I guess having said, if you met the criteria, you are actually eligible to go for this fast track PhD. And lastly, as what Dr. Heidi mentioned about the postgraduate opportunities, we have posters basically posters from our academic staff who basically are seeking for students like yourself to offer a platform to continue a master or PhD. Okay. Right. So in our school, as you know, we have 5 research areas. So 5 research areas. First of all, the communication. So this covers RF system, electromagnetic compatibility, wireless, antenna, microwaves. And we have also computer engineering. Yeah. So computer engineering will cover AI, imaging, DSP, software engineering. And we have also control and automation, which covers robotics, which covers sensors and industrial automation. And the last two is basically most popular research area is microelectronics, IC design, layout design, MEMS, device modeling, and digital system. And we have also academic staff who venture in the power electronics and drives, okay, and as well as the power quality and management, right? So we have basically we have research groups at our school. We have in total 7 research group. So this research group is to support the 5 research areas. Currently, we're at the moment driving the research work. As we know, the research is part and parcel as an academic, and we need postgraduate students to basically carry out our research work. And through this, we have grants. So most of our academic staff have international have either national grants or international grants, as well as industrial grants. So this grant is used to basically to fund the research work as well as to fund your allowance, your monthly allowance. Okay. Right. So we have master mixed mode. So mixed mode is basically is a partially research, partially taught courses. We call this as MSc Electronic System Design Engineering, ESDE. And we call this as a jukebox style. I mean, later on, I will explain briefly what is meant by jukebox style. This is quite popular, and we have more students coming from the industry. And we have also master by research, which is to date we are promoting master or PhD industry. So what is meant by PhD master industry is when the research program is been carried out at the industry, and then we have supervisor coming from the industry as well. So it's fresh from the oven. We are venturing into this mode, and I would really encourage you to explore this opportunity, right? And then we have research mode. We call full-time research program at university. And for PhD research mode, we have a full-time research program at university under the supervision of your choice of a supervisor. Okay, I suppose I'm pretty sure that you have doing your final year project under your current supervisor, so you do seek advice and further information from your current supervisor, all right, so that they will be able to advise you further. So mixed mode is basically this actually we have my colleague Dr. Nazri Mahmood. He is a program chairman for the master mixed mode. So we have a mixed mode because it is partially taught courses and partially research. So the research work is covered by we call it a dissertation. So you can regard dissertation as in form of thesis, and it carries 28 credits. And for the taught courses, we have 3 courses. Basically, one which is core, the other 2 is electives. And additional subject is basically to guide you how to do research. And we call this subject as research methodology, or AKC 500. So this is a master mixed mode, which accounts for 70-30, meaning to say 30% is a taught courses and 70% is a research. Okay, so and the durations of this master mixed mode is 1 year. Okay, so okay, I've mentioned just now about I coined it as a jukebox. The reason is that you have an avenue to select a package, right? So you have three packages. The first one is a pure electronics and integrated circuit. The second is signal processing. Third, industry 4.0. So how you actually determine the packages is basically the choice of electives, right? Because you have a core courses, which is the embedded system and architecture design. And this forms the core of the core subject. And you have two electives, which determines the packages, i.e. the streamline. Okay, so these are for master mixed mode program. Okay, and in the normal research program, a master research program, this is actually the program is intended to prepare the candidate for the further study up to PhD level, and the durations for the master research program is 2 semesters. So minimum 2 semesters is equivalent to 1 year. So you can get your master by research minimum 2 semesters, i.e. Technically speaking, equivalent to 1 year. Maximum you can go to 6 semesters, right? And this particular master research program do offer part-time mode as well. And you in order to pursue to a master level, your CGPA is at least 2.75. Or if we have CGPA in range between 2.5 and 2.74, then if you have some research experience, at least 1 year, and then this is governed by, suppose if you're attached to your supervisor as a research assistant, then for 1 year, that is counted as a research experience. Or if you choose to work for 1 year, right? If you choose to work for 1 year, then, and if your CGPA is within this range, then you're eligible to apply for a master research program. Okay. What happens if your CGPA is in the lower quadrant, in 2 to 2.49? Rest assured that you will still be eligible to pursue for your master, except that you have to have at least a work experience of at least 5 years and a grade B for either a B plus for a final project or B for a major elective courses. All right. So this is actually an attractive opportunity to pursue for your master research program, because master research program is a stepping stone before you're able to pursue for PhD. Okay. And of course, in context, for those who are, I guess, not from you, because it's actually a student coming from the IPTS, then they have to ensure that the program is accredited at APEL level A, level 7. So for PhD, we have PhD research program, and this particular program is covering the 5 research areas that I've mentioned just now. And it's basically it is to be able to conduct systematic research and to be able to establish a novel contribution which have an impact to the industry and also to the nation. And the durations for the PhD is a minimum 4 semesters, which is equivalent to 2 years, and a maximum of 10 semesters, right? So that and if you do part-time, then you have an avenue to stretch your semester to 15 semesters. Okay, so as you know, for information, 2 semesters equivalent to 1 year. Okay, and to be admitted for a PhD program, you need, if you have your master in research mode, right, in a research mode, then you are eligible to continue for PhD. Or if you have a master degree of at least, in a mixed mode, you have at least 3.0, then you are eligible to apply for a PhD program, right? And suppose if your CGPA of your master thought course or mixed mode is within range of 2.5 to 2.99, then you need at least an experience, research experience of 2 years, or a professional experience in the related field for 2 years as well. Or as you can see, this is actually a condition, or meaning you can, if you fulfill either of this condition, then you are still eligible to apply for PhD, right? So that's why I highly encourage you to go for a master research mode, right? And then for those who are currently in the first class, i.e. 3.67, I would encourage you to consider a PhD fast track. So this is what is a PhD fast track. PhD fast track allows students with CGPA 3.67 and above to apply straight for PhD without requiring a master research mode qualification, right? So we have already various of your senior have went well with this mode of program, and have graduated successfully, and they still continue to work in industry. So I'm not saying that it is to give the idea that even though you chose your career path to basically establish a professional career industry, but please please I would like to encourage you to consider postgraduate opportunities. So for the fast track, you need to furnish to write a research proposal, and this research proposal need to be presented and defended in the Viva session during the RIT committee meeting. All right, so there'll be a defense is a kind of like a Viva session where you need to present your research proposal, a sound one, and then the committee will decide to approve the proposal. It is the approval is based on the merit of the proposal. It has to have the contribution, and you need to basically able to spell out what are the basically the gap in the research you have identified, and the objective of the research should be novel. Okay. And of course, the results will be presented at the board meeting, and eventually you'll be enrolled as a PhD student without requiring a master research qualification. Okay, right? If you have any question, please do ask. Do you have any questions up to this point? Any questions so far? Do you have any question? Right. So, right. Any questions so far with regard to the program? Right. I see there is a credit transfer. What do you mean by credit transfer? From I think there's a question asking about credit transfer. I'm not sure how is it any relevant to our program, because you are currently undergraduate, right? So because I mean, for master research mode and PhD research mode, you are basically enrolled in a full research based work, i.e. you are like writing journals. There's no class that you need to attend for master research mode and PhD research mode. Okay, but if you're enrolling the master mixed mode, then there is a class that you need to attend, right? And this is basically that you need to taken care of. Okay. So do you have any questions? Right. There is a question. Sorry, there is a question. Okay. All right. So for the master, right? For master and for Malaysian, you have you need to registration fee of 340 ringgit, and then a tuition fee for one semester is 3,000 700 ringgit, right, for one semester. And then you have a thesis evaluation fee of 750. So that is the fee that is incurred for a master program. Okay. And right, so if you're interested to pursue for a PhD, then it is also the cost for your tuition fee for per semester is also the same, 3,700, same as master. But then you have a slight difference in terms of a thesis evaluation fee, and which is 1,000 ringgit, and then you have a subject to undertake, which is the research methodology. The cost to take research methodology subject is 320 ringgit, right? And bear in mind that in terms of the cost of postgraduate studies in comparison to other universities, we are relatively, competitive and moderate, right? And knowing that we are Apex University and we are one of the top research university, and recently we have, I mean, as you have heard from the news, and then we have been ranked, fourth in the world for the sustainability for the impact ranking. Okay, right. So okay, there's one of you. Okay, there's some question as well. I think I mix with undergraduate course credit transfer. Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. So you cannot transfer credit between undergraduate and postgraduate. They are the different system. And then there's questions, can share experience how master PhD student enroll in USM the environment. Yes, this is a very good questions. Of course, later on, I mean, of course, the plan is to invite at least a representative from the existing enrolled master PhD student, but then we didn't do that for now. But thanks for the thank you for the suggestion. Okay. Any scholarship to apply? Yes, I mean, this is a part where I would like to share now. Basically, the postgraduate opportunities. So I think I would also share some screen. Yeah, I think okay. Say all right. There's a question. Can what is it? Okay, there's a good question. Can FYP? All right. So all right. So there's also questions from you that ask me about, can you apply for MSc now, or they need to wait until finish the study? So this is something that is, I mean, it's a common question. You can actually discuss with your potential supervisor, and then I mean, you cannot apply yet. I mean, you can apply, in when you have done your submitted the completed final project thesis, by asking some kind of like conditional it's kind of a conditional completion, right? This is quite common. Usually you have to wait until October to have your full transcript Senate, right? But you can actually request a letter from our school, like a conditional offer, saying that you have submitted the what we call the or you have fulfilled all the requirement. But then there's a condition, right? This happened with also with the industry who wish to hire the students at a much earlier time. Okay, so the school are able to accommodate that. Okay, right. So without further ado, I would like to share some posters from our colleagues from your lecturers. So I would share first with this is the first one, right? So this is actually an offer made by Associate Professor Dr. Ku VE, the program chairman for Mechatronics program. This is actually for a PhD position. The title is Extracting and Classifying Radiomix Feature Using Deep Learning for Osteosarcoma. So and this is actually requires the interest to investigate further with regard to the deep learning methods, and this on the medical application. So stated here that you will be given an allowance for the first year, 2,000. This is actually per month, and then it's followed by second year 2,300. Okay, so and this is if you're interested in applying for this position for PhD postgraduate studies, then you please you may email to the email stated here, beku@usmy. Right? I think Dr. Ku is also online here. You may also ask her directly as well if you have any questions. Then they'll be really fine. And I will also invite. I mean, there are also lecturers here in the how we call. They would like to brief about his research. I think let's see. I think he's not online yet. Later on, he will join. So if you have any questions, please do drop me an email to Dr. Ku for this particular postgraduate position. Okay. And then the second is right. You're able to see. Hang on, let me share again. This is another PhD opportunity. This is from Dr. Azhar, Dr. Muhammad Azhar Zawawi. So he is actually conducting research on biosensor, in particular for organic electrochemical transistor. So this is specially suited for those who are interested in microelectronics. And the stipend is given allowance of 2,300 ringgit per month for a duration of 3 years. And this is funded through a research grant. So this is both Malaysian International. Of course, in this particular avenue, you'll be welcome. Even here, for example, if you're interested to go for fast track, then you can apply. So you can apply this opportunity. You can contact Azhar, ADZHAR, alias USM.my for your interest, and the stipend will be given. And for those who are excellent, you can consider to go for PhD fast track, right? Okay. All right. So I would like to welcome Dr. Najwan. I mean, if he's here, Dr. Najwan, are you already online? See if he's. I think he's supposed to be online by now. Anyway, anybody? Okay, all right. So if he's here, then we can invite him to brief. Yeah, and then we have Dr. Ku. Dr. Ku, you would like to actually brief something about this your research project?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nasruddin. Okay, so this project is part of the RU Trans project. Okay, so there will be 3 main projects, and then we are actually, this project is part of the big project. Okay, so we will be concentrating on doing this particular part, extracting and classifying radiomics features from MRI images, osteosarcoma, to feed it for the further prediction of the cancer prediction. Okay, So those interested can write to me. Okay. Of course, this is based on the performance. Okay. So first year, they'll be given 2,000, and then as the year this one we will increase the allowance. And any question from the floor?
Yeah.
If no question, I pass it to you back, Dr.
Okay, thank
Nasiruddin.
you, Dr. Go. Yeah, I would like to add. I would like to add something to what Dr. Go mentioned about this project. And this project is funded by a competitive grant called RU Trans. RU Trans means a research university transdisciplinary grant. So the grant basically used to support a research project which comprise multidisciplinary. So I believe it is a very good opportunity for the students. You're able to not only you're already in EE, so you're able to interact with the doctors, and also with some of the, I believe, data scientists, from computer science. So this is an opportunity for you to learn from your different specialization field. Okay, right. Okay, okay, Dr. Koo. So thank you for the sharing of information. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Najwan. Dr. Najwan from the lecturers teaching electrical program. Dr. Najwan, are you there?